These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Wednesday, July 31st, almost actually in August, although it's pretty much August at this point anyways, into the realm of no content for the Celtics. Luckily, we have the Olympics and stuff like that, which we'll talk about. But how you doing today, Sam?
Doing pretty good. Have an exciting show. Like you said, we actually have basketball content to talk about. A literal game happened today.
Hanging on
Did
by
not
a
get to
thread.
watch it. Went to the Red Sox with my dad. Saw a win there. Team USA won too. So we'll dive into that. Our three boys from the Celtics all got to play today. Nobody was left out this time. So that's good news. Tatum talked about being benched, maybe having a very fun event in Rhode Island soon. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Then we'll go around the league a little bit and do the rat list. Good show for you guys. Stick around. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and comment. Tell us what you think. We're putting up videos every single morning. You don't want to miss any of it. Again, definitely subscribe. We're keeping you busy all summer long.
Also, I guess I can say this now, which is weird. If you want to follow my writing, I am no longer at Celtics blog. I am at Hardwood Houdini now. So if you'd like to cover some of my coverage, written coverage of the Celtics, jump on over to Hardwood Houdini. It's a fan-sided site. I'm going to be running that site, turning it into something I think is pretty cool. You're going to get the same coverage that you got from me at Celtics blog, on the ground reporting, all that good stuff, all the features, just same thing, just over at Hardwood Houdini. So follow me there. I'd appreciate it very much. But like Sam said, let's dive into Team USA basketball. They took down South Sudan today, earning a 103-86 victory. Tatum got the start in place of Joel Embiid, who was the only guy who DNP'd in this one. Halliburton also got some
per your request.
Although, which we'll get into it, but he's going to start the next game anyway, so it doesn't matter. But Tatum finished with 17 minutes, 10 seconds, 4 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Drew Holiday and Derrick White came off the bench. Drew played 15:03. Derrick White played 17:05. Drew ended with 5 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and a block. Derrick White ended with 10 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 3 steals, and 1 block. Derrick White was a plus 18, which was tied for the third best on the team with Anthony Edwards. KD was a plus 26, and Bam was a plus 22. Bam was killer in this game. Nailed 2 threes, 7 rebounds, 18 points as well. He was the leading scorer on the night, or on the day, I guess. But took down South Sudan, earned a pretty convincing victory after winning by only a shot in the exhibition games and having everybody freaking out a little bit. Didn't matter. Fun game. Derrick White, in my opinion, I know you said you didn't get to watch, so I'll give the lowdown. I think he was the best Celtic of the group. I think he was one of the best players on the court for most of the game. Just anytime you looked at Derrick White, he was pestering somebody off the ball. He was getting a block. He was acting as a connector. He was getting in the right spot. He was just doing Derrick White things. And that's why they brought him in over Kawhi Leonard. Good Drew Holiday game. Not the most like everywhere all at once, but played really good defense as he does. Hit a couple shots. Just sort of did Drew Holiday things at a smaller level because he wasn't in the starting lineup. Weird Tatum game. You can see how the fit is kind of awkward because he doesn't have the ball in his hands as much. And so he's almost forced to adapt to this new role that he's never had to play ever, where he's playing off the ball. He did a pretty good job of cutting, was a good rebounder in this game. Like I said, he grabbed 5, used his height, passed pretty well as well, and played some really good defense. But it's just a super awkward offensive fit because he doesn't get the ball in his hands. I mean, I think he probably should get the ball in his hands a little bit more than he does. If anything, he should probably be one of their lead ball handlers off the bench because of just his size and his ability to create for others at his size. But he seems to be fine. Like he's going to do all the little things anyways. It's just the offense is a little bit awkward with the rest of the guys that got involved.
Yeah. I mean, Tatum played within this team in the preliminary games, and he was doing just fine. Like, he looked comfortable in short roll situations. He looked comfortable as the guy in the dunker spot. Like, he wasn't playing Celtics ball. He was playing Team USA ball, and he was fitting in just fine. Then they sit him last game. He plays today and doesn't really do a whole lot. It is a bizarre fit. I suppose you're right. Like, he's not used to this, but at the same time, he should be more than okay with short spots, quick touches, moving the ball, because the Celtics play that way too. It's just he was the guy, and he's not the guy on this team. And I suppose that's a bit jarring, but I mean, I guess you could say similar effects have trickle on to like Steph Curry. Like Curry, I don't think he was bad in this game. Was he good in the first game?
What first game? He didn't play in the first game.
Steph Curry.
Oh, Steph Curry. I was like, what are you talking about? Steph Curry was fine in both games.
He was 1 of 9 in this game, Jack.
Yeah, but he wasn't like actively hurting the team. He played fine defense. He passed the ball. His shot wasn't going. Good or bad play is not equivalent to Mr. Made shots. I don't remember what he shot in the first game, but I think it was certainly better than this one. I can pull it up right here. First game,
that's
Stephen
really
Curry,
what I was asking.
Got, let's see, switch over to you say 4 of 8, 3 of 7 from 3, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists.
Solid game. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just tough. I think if anything, at this point, I think they should bring Tatum off the bench. I think they should play him with KD rather than with LeBron and AD, because I feel like those guys are like, it just feels like he's too far down the pecking order in the starting lineup with Curry, LeBron, and AD, because those 3 guys are going to get the ball ahead of him. That's just how it works. And so I think bringing him off the bench and running like KD, Tatum, Derrick White, Bam Adebayo, and Anthony Edwards would probably be the best lineup for Tatum to shine and for the team in general. Obviously, I'm not a 4-time champion as a head coach, so Steve Kerr definitely knows better than I do. But I think to maximize Tatum's potential and play, you'd want him in a lineup where he can play a little bit more as the driver, as the lead ball handler. He played fine in this game. Like I said, it just felt a little bit awkward because it felt like he was being underutilized for how good he is as a player, because he was just, most of the time he was just standing off the ball and cutting for rebounds when other guys drove, which is fine. And like I don't think he personally has any problem doing that. Like, I don't think he cares. I think he wants to win, and that's always a good mentality to have, and it's a reason why the Celtics were able to get the job done this year. But it just feels like you're kind of wasting talent at that point if you're not going to utilize it. And I think putting him in the lineup where he can share the ball with KD rather than play fourth fiddle to Steph, AD, and LeBron, which is, this is not like knocking Steph, AD, and LeBron. They get the ball for a reason, but it just feels like you can utilize them a little bit better.
Maybe you put him out there with the other 2 Celtics guys. I suppose that could be something that works, Steve Kerr. Maybe put the 3 guys out there that spent a whole season
I will say,
terrorizing the NBA.
I wouldn't play Drew and Derrick together because I feel like that's a waste. Because the point of having those guys is that they can complement the stars. And if you play them together too much, then you will have lineups without them. I think you should have one of them on the floor at all times, I think is the correct way to use them, in my opinion. Just because, and that's not saying like they can't play together. They very clearly can. But just the point of having them is to always like have one on the floor, in my opinion. I think that would be the best. Derrick White, though, in this game was the star of the show. He was incredible in this game. I think like all the people who were saying why the hell is he on this team got shut up real quick against Celtics.
Well, Derrick White take might be your best take of all time, because this is something you said in September last year. Whenever the news, Holiday was on the Celtics when this came out, so we cared about it. So it was definitely like after he was traded to Boston. But when it happened, you were like, well, Derrick White could be a fit on Team. He's someone that would be a great supporting member of the team. He's somebody who could do whatever they ask him to do. And you're seeing how well he and Holiday are prepared to play in a system like this one with so many talented players where they can just thrive in a low usage role. I mean, even in the first game, all people could talk about was Derrick White, and he only had like 2 points. This game, he actually scores, makes his shots, and people are like, this guy's incredible. He was like a hidden treasure. He was somebody who Celtics fans were clamoring to have as an all-star this year, and everyone was like, shut the fuck up. And now they're like, oh my God, Derrick White's so good. I can't believe it. Like, yeah, this is why the Celtics are the team that they were all season, is because they have players like Derrick White who are not only beyond talented, but also willing to sacrifice and smart enough to fit into the roles correctly. So big shout out to him. He's really showed out on a global scale.
For sure. Derrick White's just incredible. He's just a great basketball player. He fits in so well, and he deserves a ton of credit for that. Also, I just saw this on Twitter. Wendy went on the Pat McAfee show and said they should bench Bam Adebayo. Did you see Bam's response?
I did see Bam's response.
What you gotta say fuck me for? I love it. Speaking of Tatum did finally talk about getting benched. He caught up.
Thought he said something last game.
He said something general. Like he said, like
okay.
It wasn't like an extended quote or anything like that. It was effectively. He did say something. I can't remember what he said that now though. But
he said fuck
something
Steve Kerr.
No.
And we move on.
Now you're gonna make me try to think of what he said. But he spoke about it at length.
He wasn't sick, wasn't injured.
Yeah, he just said he wasn't sick. He just said he's fine. I don't think he talked about actually getting benched. But he said it's a unique situation. It's not about one individual player, competitor. The competitor in you wants to play, obviously, but I'm not here to make a story about myself. You win a championship, a new contract, 2K25 cover, Sports Illustrated. So after all this, it's definitely a humbling experience. We won. I was just glad to get back out there and play again, as there was a lot of chatter over the last few days. So he clearly saw everything going on. He also said something about Derrick. Said Derrick, he's been booming, doing everything that he does, being a plug-and-play guy, etc. Steve Kerr also spoke highly of Derrick White, etc. But like I said, like this just as much as everyone's talking about it and we talked about it and we'll still talk about it, it's going to be a storyline, whatever. I don't think Tatum cares. I think he's just like, yeah, it's humbling, like, but whatever. Like we win. Like I want to win. And
he's probably more mad that people are asking him about it.
Exactly.
Like, he's probably more, his like main frustration is definitely with the reaction to it.
For sure. And even if he does care, which honestly he might, he's not the type of guy to make a big deal out of it, which is a good thing.
No. Definitely not a diva guy. I mean, he's been here for 7 seasons now. Have you ever heard of him causing problems? Like even Jalen, you can like be like, oh, like yeah, there were times where it sounded like he got into it with Smart or Kyrie. Tatum, never. There was never anything that people were like, this guy's an issue. Like, seems like he's just got a good head on his shoulders and he's willing to do whatever it takes to win. So, as much as it might be disappointing for him to have had to sit out the first game, I'm not sure he's going to care about it too much. One thing, before we move off of Tatum, and I'm doing a little bit of a write-up kind of on this, kind of on just the other bullshit that's been like a shitstorm around the Celtics this summer where people are just trying to like poke holes in things and drive wedges between guys on the team. People have now made up a thing to criticize Tatum for. I know that you saw the clip of Carmelo saying that Jayson Tatum isn't taken seriously as a face of the league because he has no aura. Like they literally made this thing up so they could say that Jayson Tatum isn't good at it. No, when's the last, before like May, have you ever heard people talk about aura about players? I know people use the word.
It's a new thing. It's a trending thing. Yeah,
it's like a trendy thing.
It's the new thing. Yeah,
they have made it up. They have mainstreamed it to try and say
it's not a made up. It's a made up word, but it's just the new word for like. I don't.
Cool. That's
yeah. You know what I'm saying. Like
the word means I like this guy. I don't like this guy. So you have this guy Melo who played in the NBA forever and is probably going to go in the Hall of. It definitely will go in the Hall of Fame. Mad about Tatum not having aura. Well, he has a ring and you don't. So it's a real shame. And the funny part about this aura like discussion point with Tatum is Stephen A. Smith like took that and made a segment about it on his show. So he started discussing whether or not Tatum has aura. But the first people that I heard discuss Tatum having aura or not was part of my take. And they were only doing it because they literally had to make something up to bust Hank's balls about like the Celtics because there was nothing anybody could say anymore.
But just because the Celtics are boring. They're just
they are boring. We're trying to talk about them all summer.
Exactly. They're just boring. Put their head down, they win. There's no like off the court issues, there's off the court antics, it's whatever. But Tatum just plays basketball, goes home, hangs out with his kid, and golfs. That's just all he does, which is fine. But like people want all the antics, they want all the funny quotes, they want all the shit off the court, they want Shea being a funny guy on social media. They want Ant giving his funny quotes in the media. They want all this stuff. Tatum just hoops, and people don't like that. But
if you could pick one Tatum thing to have be his thing, what would you pick?
What do you mean be his thing?
Like, it could be something that you listed, like being funny on social media, being a smart ass with media.
I wish he was a bit more of a smartass with the media, selfishly.
Yeah, because he's boring.
Yeah. But
I
I'd
think
rather
he should
this
just
than
lean into being boring.
I don't. I want better. I want good answers.
Well, he should. Maybe not so much with you guys. Like, I don't think he should.
It
get
comes
you
out
guys
every
into
once in a
being-
while.
Well, I guess us, I should say.
He comes out. It comes out every once in a while. Like, I'm trying to think of an example. I have one, but I can't remember what he was talking about. But
I
he'll
think
just
there
be
was one. He
like,
was like, "Shit, what do you want me to do?" or something.
"Yeah,
like
what do you
that.
want
Like,
from me?"
yeah, what do you want me to say?
I don't know, man. I don't care. Let him be him. It is what it is. I don't think he gives a
If I
shit.
could pick one, I think I would pick. I think it'd be fun if he was like actually, no one. I was gonna say it'd be fun if he was like a streamer, but then if he was streaming and he had a bad game, people would be like, "This guy needs to get off Xbox."
Yeah.
What if Tatum?
You're trying to make up a shtick. It's tough.
Yeah,
Can't really do it.
We'll get back to that.
It just let him be him, man. It is what it is. PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. PrizePicks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps on PrizePicks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Get in on the daily action with your friends and become a part of the PrizePicks community today. With PrizePicks, you could turn $10 into $1,000 while watching Team USA rack up the gold medals this summer. You can make a PrizePicks lineup of players across basketball, soccer, tennis, golf, and more in as little as 60 seconds. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and you're locked in. PrizePicks is available in more than 30 states across the country, including California, Texas, and Georgia. Sam and I use PrizePicks all throughout the NBA playoffs as the Celtics were making their run. If you guys tuned into the pregame show, you saw it. We like Drew Holiday blocks. We always picked Jayson Tatum to get a dunk. That was a lock for us. And we always picked less on the opposing stars' points. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code CLNS on PrizePicks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Next thing we got, according to, this was put on Twitter by Nicole Menner of NBC 10, Governor Dan McKee stated that Celtics ownership and Larry O'Brien Trophy will be coming to Rhode Island in early September. There's no official date, but you have to assume Joe would be there, et cetera, et cetera. But it does sound like the Larry's
I'll be
heading
there.
down to your ways, Sam.
I actually, yeah. I should probably. All right, doesn't need to be discussed on the show.
you're just dead air, like thinking in your.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I'll definitely try and be there. Shout out to Rhode Island. Very happy to see that the state will be getting a visit from Larry. Nobody can know Larry, Rhode Island anymore because we have a Larry. We've got Joe's Larry. So it'll be fun. Hopefully I can go to it early September. It'll be good to have some content. We'll be literally like the SpongeBob when Patrick doesn't have water when they're in the dome. That's us with content in September. So it'll be a fun thing. I would guess that they're gonna go to the State House. Maybe they'll go to Johnston and go to the gym where it's named after his dad. I don't know. Maybe they'll go to Hendricken. You know, I bet you they end up at Hendricken, which is down the street from my house in Warwick, where Joe went to high school.
That makes sense. All right. Yeah, that was it. But last thing before we get to the email, Sam, I gave you some trivia last time.
I'm excited for this.
This was on here because I had nothing else. I want you to name me, and this is not as easy as the last one, so you probably will not get it.
All right.
But I want you to name me the Celtics players. This is a list from Sportskeeda, so keep that in mind. Celtics players with a gold medal in the Olympics.
Larry Bird. Does this count if... Is this just all time?
Mm-hmm. With a gold medal.
Do they have to have won this gold medal as a pro, or can it be amateur? Meaning, before the Dream Team, no pros could play in the Olympics, so it was amateur. Like, do they have to be on the Celtics when they won the medal?
I see one from 52, one from
Okay,
56,
so
one from
Bill Russell.
Yep. Yeah.
How many total are there?
6.
Does KG have a gold medal?
No.
No. 6. Tatum.
Yep.
Drew
So
Holiday.
he's not on here. So I think this is when they were on the team. I just found this list.
Okay.
So Drew Holiday's not on it. This is also from 2022, so that's context. This list was written in 2022.
Okay,
so this is
he
before
would
Drew
have been
Holiday
on
was
the
a Celtic.
team.
Well, Drew Holiday wouldn't have been on the Celtics then, so he's not on this list.
But he would have already won his gold medal, is what I mean. So
Yes,
correct. Your theory is probably correct. Okay, so we have Bill Russell, we have Tatum, we have Larry Bird.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I don't know if you'll get any more. I'll say that. But
get any more?
You know 2 of the names for sure, but I don't know if you'll guess them.
I think Casey Jones has a gold medal.
Correct. Yes. 2 more. 1 in 68, 1 in 52.
1 in 52.
Yeah.
I mean, that's gonna be like Dolph Shays or
right
like
era.
Like one of those guys, Frank Ramsey, or is it Kuzi? Does Kuzi have one?
No, he doesn't. I don't know. I should know this name, but I don't.
1968.
Yeah.
Havlicek? No, he was a pro by then.
Yep.
JoJo White?
JoJo White's got a gold medal. Last one is a Hall of Famer, 3-time champ.
Go.
Never won with the Celtics.
I don't know. No. I'm giving up.
Clyde Levette. Do you know that name?
Good answer.
Sure.
I did okay.
5 out of 6 better than I thought. But yeah. All right. Let's go to the email here. A reminder, as always, you guys can email us at hbtcpod@gmail.com. One email today from Mr. Joe Abbey. I'm trying to think if there's a way I can hold up. I'll do this and I'll share just to not put the name on the email on the screen.
Google
Here we
Docs
go.
it.
Yeah. Ready? Bang. There we go. Olympic updates is the email. Hey, folks, really excited for these Olympics. The fellas have been playing well so far, and I'm liking this team with one exception. Slander. Steve Kerr is a basketball. Wow. I am ashamed he slithered out of the hole that he came on from on Lebanese soil. Jesus Christ. First off, 3-guard lineups in the Olympics is absolutely criminal, especially when you have LeBron, KD, and Tatum, etc. that can all play 3-4. Steve Kerr, in his infinite wisdom and his less worn down than expected joints after being carried by Steph for 10 years, decides to play 3 guards almost at all times. Well, I love to see Derrick or Drew out there at all times for defense. It's a head scratcher to play both Ant and Booker with one of them at the same time. You give up a lot of size. And then the creme de la creme, which has been annoyingly talked about to death, but I will contribute to reluctantly, is Steve Kerr decided that Olympic gold medalist and NBA champion Jayson Tatum was a water boy washing up everyone's jock straps. For the life of me, shooting was aside. I did not get leaving a versatile, good defender, good floor general JT on the bench while you trot out Embiid. Does he not realize that JT and JB by extension are going to be the two top age-appropriate wings in 2028. USAB has done nothing to entice them, and I'm sure JT will tag along, but it's insulting to 2 guys that could carry your wing rotation. Got to play them. Anyways, thanks for giving us coverage in the dead times of the NBA. I'm excited for training camp. Until then, let's make it a good summer. Best, Joe. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate your anger.
Joe sends great emails. He always has a roast in the emails. He kind of goes off.
It's because he talks like you. You like it because he talks like you, like respectfully, Joe, with love, a moron. I love it, but Jesus, I wonder why Sam likes it. Okay, this could
looking at the sheet. Quick, won't matter. Thinking about opening night, assuming it's against Miami, it would be funny if there were "Where's Your Larry" chants going around the Garden.
You want "Where's Your Larry"?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, but probably not the best to do it against a team that has more since the turn of the century than the Celtics.
Why is the century the thing?
I'm just saying, I can move
current era.
I'm just saying
more since 2023. Yeah,
sure, fair enough. All right, NBA time. First up, Cavs gave Jarrett Allen contract extension, 3 years, $91 million. Deserved, one of the best players on their team. Damn good player, has been underpaid for the past few seasons. He's only been making 20 mil. Still don't love the fit with him and Evan Mobley, but you can't just let a guy like that walk. So good deal for both sides. Max extension for Jarrett Allen.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, it's going to secure him. And with that being a $30-ish million per year contract, it'll be tradable if they decide they want to break up that fit, which you don't like. Hasn't really paid off too much for them. Like, they had that playoff series against the Knicks last season. It didn't go well. Allen got hurt this year, so you can't really be like, he was the problem against the Celtics. Like, he didn't play. So overall, they're doing a good job of locking up the guys that have made them the successful regular season team that they've been. Now it's just time for all of those guys to go to another level. Mobley is the guy, to me, that has like the biggest responsibility in that category. Like, you were touted as like Kevin Garnett. Like, you got to get it together a little bit. In the playoffs, he got it together against Celtics. He had a couple good games, but like, he was in the Marc Gasol Hall of Fame for a game.
But I think he needs to be the center. That's the problem, I think. I don't think he should be playing power forward. I don't think he's a good enough shooter to play power forward.
Okay. I was going to say, why do you...
I don't think he's a good enough shooter to play power forward. I think his offensive game is better suited for center.
Physically?
I think he's a little undersized, but look at Chet. Like, you have a guy like Chet who can do it because he's a freak athlete and a smart defender. I think Mobley is going to get bodied a little bit by like the Embiids and the Jokic's of the world. But that's why you have a Jarrett Allen coming off the bench if you want to play in those matchups. But I think to get the most out of Mobley, you've got to play him as the full-time 5. That's just my opinion. He's just not a good enough offensive player, especially next to a non-shooter and Allen. So I don't know.
I guess you want him to be able to shoot threes a little bit better. Coming into the league, that was something that was kind of like pinned as something people could be excited about.
You can't have two bad shooters in a rotation and expect to be a good team. You can't do it.
No, you have to be, especially when Donovan Mitchell's one of your guys and he can get to the rim. And Garland, being undersized, needs a little bit of extra space. You can't have them clogging up the paint. You're right.
Yep. Next thing, the Portland Trailblazers are reportedly expected to trade one of Anfernee Simons or Jerami Grant. This is from Aaron Fentress of the Oregonian. Says it is, quote, definitely the goal for Portland trading Anfernee Simons or Jerami Grant. Bit weird. I get it, though. Like, Jerami Grant especially, like, fine player, not even a bad contract after we all freaked out about it. Like, realistically speaking, that's not too bad under the current CBA. He's a fine player. What does he make? 30 mil? That's a lot, but like
he makes 35.
Oh, does he make 35? Still, it's probably a bit of an overpay, but it's not as egregious, I think, as a lot of people made at the time because of the way everything has increased in terms of the salary cap, etc. He makes 29 this year, 32, 34, 36.
Maybe 35 was the other contract. My mistake.
Probably. Yeah, he's going to make less than 30 heading into this season. That's a very tradable contract. Anfernee Simons is going to make 25.8 this year, 27.6 next year. I think getting on trading one or both of those guys before they're needing a new extension is fine. Anfernee Simons is not as young as I thought he was either. He's already 25. So I do think it could make sense to trade either or both of them. I think there's going to be a market for either or both of them around the league. Jerami Grant's not even as old as I thought he was. He's only 30. And then you can really dig in to a rotation and a young core of Shaedon Sharpe, Scoot Henderson, Donovan Clingan moving forward, which is actually really good and better than I thought when you say it out loud. So I think they can get a good haul for either of those guys. Curious, Sam, if you think of potential destinations or in general thoughts.
I feel like, well, I haven't thought about destinations yet. We'll get there. I feel like Grant is the guy, if you're Portland, you should actually keep. I don't know. Just because it seems like he could fit if Scoot takes like a step up, if the big guys, whether it's Ayton or Clingan, becomes a force enough where you can kind of run offense through them, you can have Grant as a shooter, as somebody who plays defense. And I know he probably wants a larger role than that, which is why he left Denver for Detroit a couple years ago and then subsequently ended up in Portland. But you can keep him. He can give you a little bit of offensive production as a creator and also just be a reliable safety valve on the perimeter. And again, be able to defend opposing teams' wings as a long defender. Now with Simons, he's someone who it feels like he needs the ball a little bit more. to be as effective as he can possibly be. If you're Portland, you would probably rather have that be Scoot Henderson down the line because you drafted him 3rd overall last year. And getting rid of Simons opens the door for him to get more shine and also Shady and Sharp to get more shine. And those are the guys they are going to lean on going down the line when it comes to their guard / verse forward spot. But destinations, I suppose contending teams would want Grant. I think they would look at him and kind of see like an OG and an OB light, someone that they can get in, has a little bit of size, plays defense, and could probably like create a little bit more than the typical role player, but would be playing a role player role on a really great team. Philly doesn't really have the room. I feel like a lot of teams.
It's tough because he makes a lot of money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, the Cavs, I think, would be a fine team for Jerami Grant. I would like that a lot. I think you could bench one of Mobley or, Allen for him, probably Allen, and you could roll out a lineup of Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Strus, Grant, Mobley with Allen off the bench. Put together a package of like LeVert, George Niang, Dean Wade. You can make the salary match because they're not over the apron yet, so they can combine salaries. I like the Magic a lot for Anfernee Simons. I think that'd be really fun. A great defensive infrastructure there. You bring in an elite shot creator who is probably one of the worst defenders in the NBA, but you surround him with a lot of great defensive talent. I think that'd be super cool. The Spurs would also be fun for Simons. You bring in a great guard to play next to Stephon Castle, big guard who can play defense, and Wembanyama, who's obviously Wembanyama.
For Grant.
Past that, yeah.
What about Dallas?
I like that too. Could get a little tricky to make the money work in Dallas because he makes just under 30 mil, and you don't really want to trade unless you're talking about trading PJ Washington, which I don't think I'd want to trade PJ Washington. He's a little bit younger. He's probably a little bit of they're about on par defensively. Grant's probably a little bit better, but just the young aspect, I'd rather keep around Washington, and he'll be cheaper moving forward. You could probably make it work with like, you'd have to trade PJ Washington, which is the tough part. And I don't know if I'd be willing to do that, but I like the fit. I just don't know if it's as realistic as first glance.
I think of other teams that might be ready. I don't know. Like Houston has too many guys. Like I feel like Houston has to make decisions on guys.
I wonder if the Pelicans could package Ingram and picks for Jerami Grant and something else. I know it's obviously like I think Ingram's a better player, obviously, but in terms of fit,
Portland just becomes the island of misfit toys. Ingram, DeAndre Ayton, just two guys that were high draft picks, didn't work out. Ingram had like the one season where people thought he was going to be something. New Orleans gets paid a little bit. Now I could see Portland being a team that's willing to pay him. It just depends. Do they
I wouldn't.
Well, not pay him, but like be comfortable being like the reason why a team like Portland would be comfortable with that is because they have their foundational pieces, Henderson, Sharp, and Klingon. If you even want to like toss Ayton to the side, like if they're unsure on him, all of those guys are one on rookie contracts for now, and two will have bird rights, and like you can kind of like afford to pay those guys. Like those are the type of players you can go into the second apron, whatever, to keep around. That's kind of what the Celtics did, where the foundational pieces, Tatum, Brown, were paid. They built around those guys. They brought in talent on the outside, and that's how they made the team sustainable.
Yeah.
You bring in the talent before you're paying people. That way, by the time it's time to pay everybody, you're grandfathered into being able to have them.
It's true. I don't hate the Pacers either for Grant. I don't hate the Heat for Grant. I think that could be interesting.
I thought about the Heat too, but then I'm like, what are they giving up? Are you giving up Hero? Is that what you want to do?
Rozier or Robinson and picks, I think would probably be.
Had Rozier.
Excuse me, what it is. The Lakers obviously are going to be in the mix for both or either, and I think both or either would probably make some sense there. Improve the offense. Clippers could be interesting. I think the Clippers are going to be one of the most intriguing trade destinations in the league now because they're under the apron, so they can combine salaries again for guys. So that could be interesting, and they've got a bunch of combinable salaries. Warriors, maybe, if you want to start messing with stuff there. They're also under the apron now, which is weird considering they've always been the tax team. Spurs, Makes sense. Grizzlies, who we'll be talking about in a second, I think it makes sense. I don't know. My favorites though are I like the Magic a lot for Simons, and I don't know. Grant's a weird one. Almost the Nuggets, but I don't know what they'd give up. Send them back.
Hornets.
No, not the Hornets. Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch. I remember my dad taking me to Fenway Park as a kid, getting to watch David Ortiz and Dustin Pedroia sitting in the Green Monster and taking in all there is to love about the iconic ballpark. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Taking a look at my Game Time app right now, I see plenty of great deals to watch my favorite sports teams and my favorite tickets to Noah Khan. You guys know that's my favorite artist. I even used it while in Las Vegas for Summer League to get tickets to a women's basketball game. Some of my favorite features in the Game Time app include letting me see what the price is going to be with fees included. It makes so much easier to take a look and see what the actual price I'm going to pay is. Also, you get to see exactly where you are sitting. It's a great way to know exactly the experience you're going to get. I also love the fact that you can get great last-minute deals. Save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, or anything else. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Next thing, speaking of the Grizzlies have re-signed Luke Kennard to a 1-year, $11 million contract. That move is what it is. It's whatever. It's fine. They bring in some shooting. What I really want to talk about in tandem with this is I feel like everyone's forgot that the Grizzlies exist.
That's how it goes.
For a couple years there, they were the next team up, right? They were the next, powerhouse in the West. John Morant's that guy. And now one season of bottom feeding, everyone's just like, oh, yeah. They're just like the afterthought. Where do you think they finish? How good do you think the Grizzlies are next year? Because
the West.
before this year, they were playoff team with one conference semis appearance mixed in there. And now they are, the castaway almost, which is odd. But I'll go through. I have it up here. So we'll do, are they going to be better than? And we can do maybe or yes for sure. Thunder, no. I think the Thunder are going to be better than the Grizzlies. Nuggets, I'd say no.
No.
Timberwolves, I'd say no.
Minnesota is a team that I would be not entirely shocked if the Grizzlies jumped above.
Okay.
It feels like Minnesota overachieved a little bit this year, and it feels like they're going to be due for a little bit of a step back. However, that doesn't mean I think Ant's going to take a step back.
That's what I'm saying.
Like the Towns thing continues to kind of like be a weird. Does he fit?
I don't know.
Not fit.
I think they'll be fine. I still think they'll be a 50-plus win team, and I think the Grizzlies could too. But I think that's a high bar for a season of weirdness coming right off it. I think they'll be better than the Clippers, the Grizzlies. Yep. I think the Mavs will be better.
Mavs had a good offseason.
Yeah, than the what's it called? The Grizzlies. Suns.
So this is what I'll say about the Suns. I think the Suns. I love Durant. Booker's whatever to me. I think Beal sucks for his money. Mm-hmm. They did actually bring in point guards to play on their team. Instead of having Beal try and play point guard, they actually have Tyus Jones, who's a legitimately good point guard.
And Monty
Morris to come off the bench. With that, I'm curious to see what they look like and how they all play together. And there also is the factor of, Beal and Booker and KD had trouble playing on the court all at the same time last year because they were hurt. Does that change this year? Does it not change? I would be willing to say that Memphis is above Phoenix.
I think discourse in the West is weird because the Suns were a disappointing team this year and they won 49 games. And I'm not saying I disagree with the fact that they were disappointing, but I think that's more of a product of their playoff performance than their regular season performance. I'd say they'll probably be around the Grizzlies. I don't think the Grizzlies will definitely be better, but I think they'll be around there. I think they'll be better than the Lakers, though. I think they'll be better than the Pelicans, Kings, and Warriors, though. So
I don't know what I think of the Pelicans.
I think the Pelicans are
They got
fine, but I
DeJounte
think
now.
I think the Grizzlies are a better fleshed out team.
I'm not saying, yeah. I
Like-
think my reaction was more so about looping them in with the rest of the teams
Sure.
than Memphis. I think Memphis is really good. We're gonna get to see how Marcus fits there if he even survives the summer. They don't get rid of him. But Ja being back is a big thing for them. They have really good supporting cast guys.
Desmond Bane's nasty.
Bane's
Jaren
incredible.
Jackson,
Jaren Jackson.
Smart.
Steven Adams is coming back this year for them, right?
Nope. He got traded to the Rockets.
Who is the big guy that isn't Jaren Jackson?
Zach Edey.
Oh, Zach Edey. That's who it is.
Yeah, Zach Edey's going to be there. They've got a really good team, man. I mean, looking at the rotation, probably going to start Smart, John Morant, Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson, Zach Edey.
Wait,
Maybe not Zach Edey.
No, he's a free agent.
No, Brandon Clark is the guy coming back from injury. Brandon Clark's coming back. Santi Aldama. Vince Williams was really good last year. Gigi Jackson was really good last year.
Saw him in Summer League.
They've got a really good team. I think they're gonna be a lot better. I think they'll win 50 plus. I think they'll be a top 6 team in the West.
I'm excited to root and support our Grizzlies.
Love it. Shout out. Some rapid fire NBA stuff before we get to the rat list. This is probably gonna be a shorter pod. There's just frankly not a lot at the moment. You might get shorter pods.
Right now is not bad.
Blazers signed Devontae Graham. Knicks re-signed Precious Achiuwa, which is good for the big man depth. Marketing doesn't want to get traded. He's likely to extend. And then the Nets are interested in Isaac Okoro, who's still a restricted free agent at the moment. So that's your quick hitter stuff, Sam. Any thoughts on any of that?
Restricted free agents are always just like, who gives a fuck? If they're worth anything, the team will keep them. And if they're not, good.
That's why the Nets are interested, because the Nets are going to suck and they're going to take a flyer. Like they signed Killian Hayes. So that's where the Nets are at.
The marketing thing, I don't really know what his angle is. Other than just wanting to like guarantee that he gets paid because he knows Utah has no choice but to pay him.
Probably just likes it there. I guess he likes being the guy. Likes the personnel, likes the coach, likes the team, likes ownership, et cetera, et cetera. Sometimes guys are just happy with that. It is what it is.
I thought Devontae Graham had played his last NBA game. And
me too.
Achiuwa, they needed a big guy to stay.
They really needed a big guy. Yeah. And Achiuwa was good for them in the playoffs. He played 5 minutes. Good for the Nets. All right.
He was okay in the playoffs.
He did the job. When I say good, I mean they had nothing and he gave them fine minutes.
Okay.
And he provided a body that they needed. If they didn't have him, they would have been cooked. Ratless, what you got for me, Sam?
Ratless, the Sun. The Sun is probably an all-time like Ratless leader on this show. But we were at the baseball game today, and that shit was just in our face the whole time. When the sun was setting, it was right at the same angle that home plate was at, so you had to battle it that way. Just the sun is maybe one of my biggest enemies. It had me when I was running. It's hot out, just beating down on you as you're struggling. It's not fun.
Yeah, I agree. Ratless the Sun. I've got some nice garbage tans working here for my time on the Cape. Ratless the man Henry. Now, I wasn't the victim this time around, but there's nobody who loves seeing food, eating food, not caring whose it is, than this man right here.
Do he eat out of the fridge?
Yeah, he just takes it. He just takes stuff.
I used to get into a bat with my mom over this.
My sister had, and this isn't even like stuff like from homemade dinner. My sister had leftover like taquitos from when we ordered Mexican. Gone. See ya. Took them to work.
There's nothing worse than like it would happen to me when I was still in school. So what would happen? I'm sorry to step on your story.
No, you're good.
What would happen would be me and the boys would go to Buffalo Wild Wings. We would get buy one, get one wings. And I'd bring home whatever I had left over. And I would come home from school the next day and like look forward to eating it. Now, my mom would go in there and eat my fucking wings. And I would get home and I would go at my mom because I was like, you didn't even ask me if like you could have this. Like, no, I was like sitting there thinking about it all day. You can't do it. Well, I'm your mom, blah, blah, blah. It's basically groceries. I still remember what she said. It's basically groceries when it's in the fridge. I'm like, no, it's not. It's leftovers. It's my food. Don't touch it.
It's tough. I will say I have to hand up my bat as well because I did it to my sister by accident the other day. She put a bag. She put a bag of chips in like our cabinet bucket with like all the chip bags, and I just ate it because I didn't know. Even though it said her name on it too. I just didn't read. I just didn't see the name. I just
Were the
ate them.
chips special?
They're just a bag of baked Lays. I just assumed they were something.
It was like
that we brought home.
one of like the like.
No. It was like it was like a normal bag of chips. Like a baked Lays.
Okay.
It wasn't like a handheld. I just assumed that they were bought. So my bad. Yeah.
Ratless.
Yeah.
Barstool. Would love. Barstool has stepped into in the least fun way. Stepped into how about them Celtics territory. Yesterday on the Yak and also Jerry After Dark, they were playing some GeoGuessr. They had Jersey Jerry trying to guess all the states doing the streak thing, the same thing that we were doing on streams. Now I know that nobody from Barstool is watching us. And they definitely didn't steal it from us. And I don't even know if it should be a Ratless because it was kind of like justified in my head. I was like, wow, this makes me feel good. Like we had this idea is in fact good that we do. Like it's fun to do. And people like all the clips are going viral. So
we gotta do some game stream soon. College football, GeoGuessr.
We really did.
We'll come
I was watching Jerry play GeoGuessr, and I was like getting the itch. It's like
Ratlist, my softball league that I'm in. Now, first off, not the actual league. Softball, very fun. Had a great time. Phenomenal game. Really fun. One, get there, no parking. Street parking. Had to do 3 laps. Missed the first inning because I couldn't find parking. Was driving around for 10, 15 minutes in Alston trying to find parking. It's terrible. Eventually pulled down a side street, saw 2 people pulling out at the exact time, got lucky, or else I've been even more screwed. Got there, missed a whole inning, and we were already. So the way our softball leagues works, you play 10 people instead of 9. There's 4 outfielders, because people are bad. It's men's league softball or co-ed softball. So we were down to 8 instead of 10. So we played with 3 infielders and 2 outfielders. So it was like, what are you gonna do? No, something like that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And so wait. Oh my God, that means we had 7, and we had 8 and I made 9. I'm doing the math in my head. Excuse me, because when I got there, they were playing with 3 infielders, 2 outfielders, which add that up is 5 plus pitcher catcher. So they had 7 when I got there, and I made 8. So we were really down bad. Like we were really cooked. Oh my God, it was worse than I thought because I'm like, wait a second, why are we missing an infielder? So we had nobody, and so these guys were just hitting the gaps like nobody's business. Also, Ratlist, we don't play with a real softball. We play with like a half rubber softball. So it's like, and I don't. It's not like. Have you ever held a softball?
Yeah, it's a big fucking thing.
Exactly, it's hard. Ours is like rubbery. It's like effectively a softball mixed with a bouncy ball, which is like whatever.
Some juiced bats.
Oh yeah, I almost hit it out twice. I was cooking. It's fine for me. But I hit 2 quote unquote doubles, which would have been inside the park home runs, but they have like a ground rule double line in the back. So if it passes, it's just a ground rule double, which is fucking stupid. If I hit it that far, let me run, right? Like let me go. I'm cooking. And I was like 2 feet away from, if you hit past the line in the air, it's a home run. And so I did it twice and was like 2 feet in front of it and then rolled past. So I get doubles, and it was just dumb. But also Ratless, the umpire, who just took runs away from us because he couldn't do math. I had to call him on it. So I get there and we were down a lot, right? Like we got up in the 3rd inning. I missed the 1st inning. We were down like 9-2, right? Bad.
Yeah.
Cranked it in the 3rd inning. I hit a double. I scored, brought in some runs. Everyone else was hitting well. We scored 5 runs. Start the next inning. He goes, okay, 9-5. And I'm like, excuse me, 9-5. I go, raise your hand if you scored. I made everybody on our team raise their hands if they scored the previous inning. And there were 5 of us. I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought. And he goes, okay, yeah, you're right. My bad. 9-6. And I didn't feel like arguing anymore because I had already caused a scene. So we got docked a run. And he also missed a call. There's no like base umps. And so one of our guys beat something out to first base. But it was the home plate umpire. He was just like out. And like, I'm not going to bust this guy's balls. He's like a kid our age-ish or younger maybe. But so it's like whatever. And it's fucking random ass softball league. And we were getting killed anyways. It was like, we lost like 19-13, 19-7 maybe. But it's just like, come on, brother. Give us a fucking break here. But yeah, oh my God, there were 8 of us. I thought we had 9, but no, we were cooked. But yeah, that was my softball experience the other day.
I always told my dad I would never play softball as an adult. I've told you this before.
It's fun though. You should play. It's fun.
I just I loved playing baseball as a kid.
It's real fun.
Like I for a long time like wanted to play competitively, and
I used to make fun. I used to make fun of my stepdad for playing, and now I'm playing. And I'm like, never mind. You're right, brother.
I was like, that is the saddest shit on earth. That is what giving up looks like. Is that?
It's electric. It's so fun, bro. We're sitting there in the dugout. You know, Danny. We're sitting there in the dugout. Like,
softball. I've gone to my friends' games.
Yeah, but like Danny's personality. You know me. Like we're sitting there in the dugout. Like, hey, good eye, get in there, fucking. Like we're just talking shit, screaming like morons in the dugout, playing men's or co-ed softball. Like it's just so fun. It's just so good. It's highly recommend.
I don't doubt that it's fun, but I have a sense of pride about me that I just don't know if I'll ever do it.
Bro, I got up there, I corked it. The whole dugout's like, let's go. Like it's just fun. It's you just got to get over it and get in there and have a good time. It's a good time, man. I love it.
Rat list.
Yeah,
go ahead. No, you had something to say.
It was just the extra after the softball. We went to watch Danny's work friend plays in a like the same Volo league, which is like sponsor league basketball, and we were watching them play.
How is Volo?
It's like this company in Boston that runs these rec sports leagues. Like they do basketball, they do softball,
really?
They do shit like that. Yeah, it's like a whole thing. And they run basketball leagues, and we went to watch, and it was like, bro, it's 2014 Spurs ball movement that just couldn't make a shot. like they would move it all the way around. They'd get a layup air ball. It was just like, oh my God, like they clearly knew how to play. And I think she played in college. Like they were very good. It was just they were getting the worst fucking bounces you could possibly imagine. It was just fun. But anyway,
That's
sorry.
Rat list. So my girlfriend was showing me this Instagram video. She loves to send me Instagram video. It's not a her thing. You have this same thing that you don't like.
Henry.
I hate when people send me things I have to click. If it doesn't play in whatever medium you sent it to me, I don't want to watch it. And I don't use Instagram in fairness to her, so there's no other way she could send me
she
something.
has to.
But anyway, she shows me this thing. And it's this Ratless, this Instagram flower guy. This guy is posting a video of himself like buying, I think, like dozens of bouquets of flowers and like then hand picking flowers out of them to give to his wife or girlfriend. You can't be posting stuff like that because then the expectations trickle down to all of us. Like that's
what's
not
the
fair.
saying? If he wanted to, he would. Is that what they say?
I don't even know what it said. But she was like, "Look at this, isn't this nice?" I'm like, "Don't get any ideas." I'll get her flowers, but I'm not going and
picking them out is crazy.
I'm not. Yeah, she's like, "Isn't that a pretty bouquet?" Honestly, if somebody got me flowers, I'd be fucking mad. What am I gonna do with them?
I don't have use for it. I get it's a gesture. They look pretty. You put them on the counter.
You're handing me trash. Is what you're handing me.
You're the worst.
It really is.
Get me some candy instead. Give me some.
You know what's another one? Candles.
Fun.
I will say serve a purpose. I know the scents are nice. If somebody got me a candle, I'd probably spike it.
I would never buy one for myself, but I have been in rooms with people who have candles, and it does smell nice. So I get it. It's just not something that I would do.
There are certain candles that, like, time of year in my head coincides with, like, whatever my mom puts out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, like fall's here. And it's not even necessarily like pumpkin. It's just like whatever the scent is that she always goes with.
Yeah.
It had like has aura, Jack. The candles have aura.
Fucked. I don't think I have anything else, unfortunately.
Nah, I got nothing else. That was my
ratless myself. I fucked up my fried rice that I made last night. I was sad.
I was like hungry.
Rice. I was hungry. Rice is top tier food.
To be honest with you, I didn't eat rice for like the first 25-ish years of my life.
What?
Now that we're like halfway through 25.
Why?
I don't know.
Rice is so good.
It was just one of those picky eater things that I was just like, I don't want it.
Picky eaters. It's one of the like most bland fucking things on the planet.
I know. I just never. I think like there was one time I thought it was like mac and cheese or something, which it basically would be the same thing. But I was just like so disappointed that it wasn't what I thought it was, like what I thought that it was supposed to be. That I was like, fuck this, I'm never having it.
Oh, you eat it now though?
Yeah, I love rice.
I used to eat bowls of white rice with salt.
Probably all right.
It was great. Last night I made fried rice 1:30 in the morning. Hungry. I was like, you know what? Make some rice. Made some rice. I cut up some like chicken nugget, chicken tender things in the didn't really work well. You need like normal chicken. You can't do it that way. And no, I had soy sauce. I put soy sauce. It didn't taste weird because like it still tasted like a chicken tender. Like it didn't taste like chicken that goes in fried rice. It just tasted like a chicken tender in fried rice. It was bad. But I fucked it up because I put the eggs in, but instead of letting the eggs fry a little bit first, I mixed them too quickly. And so it just got like all congealed and messed up in it. So I fucked it up and I was very pissed because it was
okay.
I still ate it, but I was mad at myself. Fried rice though. Fried rice is really easy to make. Really good too. Recommend. Very, very good.
Oh, we got Chinese the other day and I got a side of rice, made my one meal into 2 meals.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying like you get a box of rice for like $3. All the vegetables cost you another like 12. You make.
Are you grocery shopping?
Chicken.
You're not grocery shopping. You will be.
No, but there was like it was here, and I made it when my mom was away once, so I went to the grocery store to buy it, so I know what it is, etc. And exactly, I fucking will be, so I need to think of stuff. But like, you can get all the stuff for like $20 maybe, and it'll feed you for like a week because you can make so much rice with one.
You know what's funny? So we got that Chinese food, right? We can wrap over this. We have a menu from the restaurant at our house, and I think we've had it since like 2006.
Yep.
It's the same menu, but the prices, like it was like $3 for rice. I was like, what? I was like, this is crazy. Like this is so fire. And I was like, I wonder what it costs now.
What does it cost now?
I don't know. I didn't pay. Shout out to my dad. Hooked it up.
Chinese food's top tier.
Get ready to eat Chinese, buddy.
I love Chinese food. Anyways, that'll do it for us. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll let Sam take it out.
Hey, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell. You don't want to miss any of our daily uploads. We're coming at you with new content at 5 a.m., regardless if the Celtics are playing or not. We're keeping you busy all summer. We also have game recaps the morning after each game, whether it's the Olympics or actual Celtics games. We will be here for you. We also do streams on the channel. Keep your eyes out for those as the season grows closer. You can also find all of our pods and game recaps on both Spotify and Apple. If you follow us there, those will go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. The address for that is on the screen. We go through on every pod and read what you have to say for us. Shout out to Joe for emailing us today. Usually we have a couple. Definitely send in what you have to say. We love to hear from you. You can find us on socials at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's the name of the pod. Streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's at Jack Simone NBA. Mine is at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us.